You always sound like you're sniffing that. Still here with Amy.
Hi.
And right now we're across the street from one of the places that both have found a little bit interesting on our past travels here. So we're looking into it right now online just to share some information with it about you.
Is it an
information about it with you?
Yeah, if it's an urban legend or if it really is.
If it's an urban legend or if it really is haunted, because we, Amy in particular, likes to do a little bit of ghost hunting. And I've always just kind of been drawn to this place in particular. I've never gotten to go in it, but I find it fascinating. So I'm going to show you the house right now. So let me turn off this light. The Martinez House on the corner of H and 22nd.
It has a sinister
in Sacramento.
aura.
It has a sinister aura, and look at that light up in the attic.
This is the stuff of your worst nightmares. The bloody history of the Martinez House in Sacramento. Legend has it Dr. Aiden Hart and his family were the first people to live in the house. Over time, Aiden's wife and children noticed that his life seemed to be sapping out of him. Paranormal investigators claim that the evil entity residing, here's an advertisement, in the spooky house is Selene. So Aiden would lash out at his family until one day he snapped. He took his wife to the cellar and began torturing her using medical equipment. Ooh. After dying within hours, according to a renowned medium who visited the mansion, he moved on to hacking his children. Dr. Aiden left no one alive in the Martinez house, killing even the family pet. How dare he?
I can't stand that. It's like, kill all the people you want. Don't fuck with the animals.
So what happened to him is yet to be known, but many assume that he killed himself. So I actually did hear that some man hung himself in the house.
Is that you or is that the article?
No, yeah, it's me speaking.
Oh.
So I did hear that someone hung himself. So if that story is true, that could be... and a doctor lived here. I also heard something about like how a family had this house and there was a son who was a lawyer who ended up still living here, and then he moved and doesn't want it anymore. I did just read an article before we started filming about how this guy, he and his sister feel as though the Martinez story about the doctor is an urban legend, and that it's not haunted. So who's to say? But one thing I can tell you is that a friend of mine wanted to buy this house. She was very interested, her and her husband, until the realtor said, I think there's one thing you need to see. And so he brought them up to the attic, and there was a huge hole in the roof, and there was pigeon poop all the way up to her waist.
Ew.
So they decided, no, I don't think we want this.
Well, all you'd have to do is just like redo the attic floor and like the support beams and stuff, and maybe the ceiling below it or something if there's like water damage.
I guess they just didn't want to deal with all that, because they also had children too. But this was like 10 or 15 years ago when this happened.
Oh my god, there's a TV on in there. You see that?
Holy crap, that's awesome. I wonder if somebody did move in. Whoa.
Here, you take it.
Should we get out and see what they're watching?
Oh my god. Do you think it's like a caretaker?
Hey, it says no trespass. No parking.
That's creepy. The ghosts like to watch TV.
Maybe they're watching Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures. I can get out and try to zoom in to see what they're watching.
That's a little stalkerish. Look at the cellar windows with the bars on them and shit.
Gross. That's so that the wife can't get out. Oh, like right there.
Yeah. That's creepy.
I wish I could get out and ring the doorbell.
Ding dong ditch.
Ding dong, bitch. I mean, ditch.
Ding dong ditch, bitch. I'm ditch, bitch.
Oh, there's that attic where the poop lives.
But we just thought we would share that little tidbit of information. You can Google the story for yourself by looking up the Martinez House?
Martinez House on H and 22nd Street.
In Sacramento, California.
Sacramento, California.
And decide for yourself. So now we're going to look at the Governor's mansion.
Governor's mansion.
How pretty is that?
It's gorgeous.
One of the prettiest houses I've ever seen.
In Sacramento.
In Sacramento.
I think you might actually be able to go on tours inside there.
What?
Maybe. So I think the governor has some sort of deal with Sacramento that you can do that.
That is pretty.
Or he sold it or something.
Would the governor's mansion be like the White House and it's only like while you're acting governor that you can live there?
Yes.
Did you get to like the top tower?
The very top tower.
Very
Tippy top tower. Did you reach it? Did you reach that tip?
We are now in part of Old Town Sacramento, where it's all cold as tits and in turn of the century style.
It's freeze as fuck.
Freeze as fuck.
And it's haunted.
And it's haunted as fuck.
Yeah. We're gonna go to a cemetery here.
And right in the middle of all of this is a little tiny cemetery and a train museum, the California Railroad Museum. But right now, our attention, if you'll notice, the raised sidewalks of the olden days and the cobblestone streets.
Oh, and Old Sacramento is built on top of a city. Reason why? Because that city kept getting flooded. And there's secret tunnels underneath too.
So down here was actually the level of the original city?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So we would come hang out here before in what's called Pioneer Park. There's this nice little pretty walkway with some columns and things. And we would marvel and enjoy how it reminded us a little bit of New Orleans. Even though I've never been here, but everything I've ever seen kind of makes me think that it is. We would walk by and we would see all these things in the ground and we saw names in them.
Oh, motherfucker.
And we're like, oh wow, this is a cemetery. So all kind of headstones and all along the side of here there's toppled over headstones and some obelisks partially buried in the ground.
Remember one time I told you that I had a dream about this staircase?
Uh-huh.
And I told you I want to go over there and see if any of the doors open.
Yeah.
Because I dreamt I went inside and you're like, okay, yeah, go ahead and do it. So I did, and I walked up the whole staircase and none of the doors opened.
The doors open?
No.
Oh, none of them open?
But you were laughing at me.
Like, I swear, if I ever go to New Orleans, this is what I imagine it would be like. And there's like a saltwater taffy place. Just like everything reminds me of New Orleans. And I want to go so bad one day. We should go.
That sounds fantastic.
Like all the other goth YouTubers I watch, like have like their videos of like New Orleans trips. I'm just like, fuck you guys. I want to go. Not really fuck you. I'm just jealous. Evangeline's costume mansion, and I cannot sing. This is what we call filler, people. So my camera died when we were trying to show you the steamboat. So I guess that means we'll just have to make another trip out here. But in the meantime, we're going to spend what part of the night we have left, and we're going to try and see if we can find somewhere to finally get Amy her fucking fritter. And see if we can accomplish that for her before we go home.
What would you like?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care. I want some water. I'm thirsty. Water. But so yeah, so that was our day.
Are you really thirsty?
You always sound like you're sniffing that. The first time I saw her drinking out of that bottle, well, I didn't even see her. I was like driving and I like heard her drinking. I was like, "Are you sniffing that?" So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And I guess we'll have to make another trip out here to further investigate the Old Town Sacramento area. But until next time, yeah, I don't know what to say. But until next time, just treat others how you want to be treated, and have a good rest of your evening, and happy holidays. Bye. Bye. Good night.